Easter eggs and details you might have missed in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Part 2. Spoiler alert countdown in 3, 2, 1. When Ramonda and Shuri go to the river to talk about T'Challa, Ramonda says that she can feel T'Challa's hand on her shoulder. Now, I'm not sure if this was intentional or not, but it seems very reminiscent of Ryan Coogler's speech at San Diego Comic-Con, how he spoke about T'Challa.
He was excited, and he grabbed my left shoulder with his hand, and he was getting excited as the clip went on and on and longer and longer. He was just squeezing down on my shoulder the whole time. And standing here with y'all right now, listening to that music from those artists, I promise you I can feel his hand on me right now.
Later, some US operatives go to look for vibranium in the ocean when they are jumped by the warriors of Talokan using some sort of song to hypnotize people and lure them to jumping off the boat. Now, I'm guessing this is based off the myth of the siren, whose songs could lure sea travelers to their death. And in the comics, the Atlanteans do actually have siren offshoots. And then enter Namor. Namor, or Namor, is one of Marvel's very first superheroes alongside the original Human Torch. He is the ruler of Atlantis and son of Atlantean Princess Fen and human Lennon McKenzie. But that human side carried along a mutant gene, making him a mutant and Atlantean. His mutant ability gave him his winged feet, allowing him to fly super fast. His Atlantean side gave him super strength, speed, and durability. Yes, allowing him to scrap with some of the stronger characters in Marvel. Instead of Atlantis, he's now the ruler of Talokan, based on Tlalocan, a sort of afterlife in Aztec culture. In fact, they rooted a lot about his character into Mesoamerican, Aztec, and Mayan culture. I mean, taking fictional nations and rooting them in real-world culture worked out very well for Wakanda, so it makes sense here too. His people call him Kukulkan, the feather serpent god, essentially a god that commanded the skies alongside Chuck, the god of the rain. Now, he thinks the vibranium juice is what gave him his mutation, calling himself a mutant, but based on Ms. Marvel and some comics lore, it's more likely that he already had a gene in him that was going to be a mutation, but the vibranium juice kind of activated it, the same way Kamala's bangles activated hers. Now, he's pissed that the Americans have a device that allowed them to track vibranium, and he wants the Wakandans to go to America and kill the scientist that created them, that scientist being Riri Williams, teen genius and attendee of MIT University, the same university that Tony Stark gave a speech at back in Civil War. In the comics, she was referred to as a super genius and has been since childhood, attending MIT at only 15 years old and developing her own Iron Man suit using only bunch of scraps! Here, she's a 19-year-old girl, only a few years younger than Shuri, and you can already tell that Shuri sees herself in the girl, saying that being a young prodigy isn't all it's cracked up to be. In her warehouse, we see the red and black car that her stepfather designed. In the comics, her stepfather died protecting her from a drive-by shooting. But pay attention to that same red and black color scheme because she actually uses it as inspiration for her Ironheart suit. We also see designs on her board for an arc reactor that Shuri calls Stark Tech, revealing that her life's work was her developing an Iron Man suit. And yes, making an imperfect clunky one and then upgrading to a more sleek red version is both her progression in the comics and similar to Tony Stark's progression both in the comics and in the movies. More details to come in part 3.